this story I'm about to tell these people about Dallas, well, the first night in Dallas, I've repeated it about 50 times to all my mates, and I've repeated it exactly the same way. So we stop at this hotel, and it was, I believe, it was owned by the Hilton. It was one of their many chains,
Mhm.
and it was great. So there was very fancy hotel. But some of the places we stayed, they haven't been complete vibes, but they weren't sort of as nice, were they?
Yeah, no, because what we try to do is to save money. We don't tend to go to the best hotels.
Especially if you're doing 12 hotels on the trip, or
Totally,
eight
yeah,
hotels, right?
yeah. I mean, the hotels that we go to, they're booked, they're clean. You have a shower,
Yeah,
you stay there for the night, and then off you go again.
yeah,
But yeah, some of them are owned by the Hilton, some aren't.
yeah.
Just a mixture.
So this one, I remember we dropped our stuff off in the room, and there was this guy. He was the bar manager. And have you ever seen The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody
No, I haven't. No.
show on Disney? So for people that know about that show, and I'll put a clip of it, he looks like Mr. Mosby,
Hmm.
which is like a guy in the hotel lobby, very short build African American guy with glasses, and he called himself Alexander the Great.
Good old Alexander the Great. He was outside. He was almost like he was waiting for us to turn up.
Yeah,
He was outside. I don't know, was he having a smoke
he was
or?
having a smoke, and then he saw us, and then yeah, so he kept the bar open for us. There was two other people, two, three other people there, and I think he poured us like 7, 8 drinks each,
We drank well, didn't we, that night?
and he charged us 10% of what we were meant to pay.
Totally.
So, and then he was like singing. He was just good vibes, man.
He was.
I thought he was quite entertaining.
Totally.
And then he was talking about, yeah, I want to go to a karaoke bar. And I was like, shit, I've been looking for a karaoke bar.
My man here was from the day we left only do karaoke in America. And
Yeah,
we just didn't get a chance to go to any karaoke
yeah.
club. So literally karaoke club came to him.
Came to me, man.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm not homophobic at all. I know people that are gay and all of that. So he was saying to me, he's like, hey, you ain't got no problem with gay people, have you? I was like, nah, man. But the way I kept it with him was, I respect you for who you are, but I just know I don't swing that way.
Hmm.
So I remember this when we were still at the hotel lobby bar. He was saying, "Oh, so what do you guys do for a living?" And you said at the time you was a kitchen designer. I said I was an estate agent. Andy said he was a tattoo artist, and then Matt said he's a postie. And then what does Alexander say to Matt? He's like, "I fucked the shit out of my last postie." And then I remember Matt got us in the corner. Sorry to bring this up, Matt, but he was like, oh, "Please, guys, make sure nothing happens to me."
Yeah, I think. Well, look, I think what happened that evening was you were enticed with the whole karaoke. Right, we had to go
And the
karaoke.
8 drinks.
Yeah, and the yeah. So
So I think,
Alexander the Great said to us, right, look, let's jump in the cab. I'm going to take you to
yeah,
this cool bar.
I remember Matt stayed in.
Yeah,
He
Matt
played it
wasn't
safe.
feeling it. Yeah, he
He
was
played,
tired. He wasn't feeling it. He
yeah,
stayed in the room. So I was like, well, I ain't gonna let you go on your own. I'm gonna come with you. And he was like, well, if you two are going, then I'm gonna come with you too. And we
yeah,
all jumped in this a Lyft or Uber, whatever it was, and we headed over to this part of town.
yeah. And he brought us to the gay district of Dallas, right?
Must have been.
It must have been. And the first bar he took us to, this was right before the karaoke. There was this like, I don't even think you guys saw this, but there was this like lesbian woman. She was all right. She weren't a bit of me,
Mm.
but she went up to me and she grabbed me by the nuts
No.
and she took me to the bathroom and she was like, "I want to suck your dick." I was like, "What?" She's like, "I want to suck your dick, but you got to buy me and my girlfriend a drink." And I was like, "Nah, this is some sort of catch-22 here." So I left that bathroom feeling intimidated. I was like, "Nah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's not for me." So yeah, we ended up at the bar. I remember I got on stage and stuff. And then yeah, while I was on stage, do you want to tell the people a little bit about what happened there?
Oh, God, yeah. So my experience of this place, I walk in. For those of you that know Queen, there's a song "I Want to Break Free," and there's a
Yeah,
few characters, when they're dressed up, and it's like I
yeah,
was walking into this place, and that's what it felt, that it gave me that vibe. It was
yeah,
like there was loads of guys staring at us. We obviously didn't look like locals,
Yeah.
the way we were dressed. We just arrived, and yeah, it was mad. But you know what? Really friendly. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
cool, right? And yeah, so Alexander the Great, I think he went up first and sang. I think did
Yeah, I
he?
think he sang
He
first.
went
I
out.
sang second.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
sang second. Yeah, so he went to go and sing, and I was like, man, I need to go to the loo,
Yeah.
right? But I just felt really anxious and awkward. You know, I was like, "Ah, I just don't feel like I want to go to the toilet. But you know what? I'm dying to go for a wee. So anyway, I was like, right, you know what? While Alexander the Great was up singing,
Yeah.
I was like, right, I'm going to the loo. I'm just going to
Yeah.
go and take a putt and go to the loo. So I went there, and no word of a lie, somehow I'm going there, and then Alexander the Great walks up behind me, right? And at this point, I'm like, "You all right? What are you doing?" It was like, yeah. Like, you know, just want to say, like, you know, your friend Matt, yeah, he's cool, but I really like you. I'm like, okay. I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't roll that way, my friend. Honestly, you know,
Yeah.
I have a partner at home, you know, very happy. And he was like, oh man, but she's not here, is she? And then he actually said to me, he goes, look, listen, let me suck your dick. I was like,
Did he get on his
no.
knees?
Yeah, he practically went on his knees. It was like, and it was like, it's like, no. Honestly, I have a partner. I'm very happy. And he was like, trust me, I'll suck it better than her. I'm like, right, okay. At this point, I was like, right, no. I said, look, thank you for taking me here, but look, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right, like close to actually sparking him out. I was like, right, no, I need to get out because we're in the middle of a random area in a city that I've never been in. Right, I was like, right, no, I'm not going to do this. So I walked out, and at that point, you were singing, and you actually, you were actually smashing it. Like, I can't remember, what was you singing?
I was singing Mr. Brightside.
That's it, yeah. And you smashed it.
I was
right?
like, started off with a kiss, down
Yeah.
and it ended up like this.
Yeah,
I was loving it, man.
I went up to Andy, and Andy was talking to a couple of girls
Yeah.
because they had tattoos. So obviously he's talking about tattoos, and I'm like, right, Andy, we're going. Right. So as soon as you finish singing,
I think we got an Uber back.
yeah. But Alexander the Great said, look, I feel responsible for you guys. I'm going to jump in with you. We're like, we're cool. We don't need your help. It's like, we'll know where we're going. Like, no. I'll get you guys back to the hotel.
Yeah.
We get back to the hotel, and then I think he told you about an after party.
Yeah, he told me about the after party. And honestly, like, this happening to you, I wasn't really comprehending it. Because I was while you was in Caution Land, I was in Euphoria.
Yeah.
And so I waited in the cab. So I think he followed you and Andy up to the room.
Yeah, so he was like, let me take you up to your room. Like, you don't need to take us up to the room. Honestly, you're fine. Yeah. So, but he wouldn't leave us alone. He would not leave us. Like, just leave us alone. Yeah, I know where my room is. Like, let me take you up to your room. So we tried to because we know Matt was sleeping in the room, right? So it was like, let's try and go the opposite direction. So I went the opposite direction. He wouldn't leave us. So eventually, I'm like, I'm gonna have to go to my room. So went back to my room. He was like, you're trying to kind of like, deceive me, aren't you? I'm like, no, I just want to go to my room and go to bed. So anyway, I come in. He then decides to walk in with me, right? And obviously, from the light in the hallway, you can see Matt kind of there sleeping. So he goes up to Matt, right? Yeah. Like, dude, what the hell I was trying to pull him back, and he was like, "Oh, Matt, man, look, he's sleeping." I mean, he didn't touch Matt or do anything, but it's like, dude, get out now.
Yeah.
And Andy actually grabbed him, like,
and grabbed him, did he?
Yeah. Like, not aggressively, but cool, like, dude, let's get out. Let's get out. Door shut, and then I was like, oh my goodness me, like, that's done. And then obviously Matt was cool. He was stirring, but it was like, what the hell's going on? It's like, Matt, man, just go to bed. You're all good. You're fine. Yeah. And then he went downstairs, and obviously that's over to you now because I don't know what happened afterwards. You tell me what happened.
So he took me to the after party. And we were in Dallas, right, in the city, but we drove about half an hour away from the city to this industrial area, and there was this like warehouse-looking place. It was a bit like, like there was squat raves where people go and do like drum and bass, and they're all there taking drugs and all of that. So he took me into this place, right, and honest to God, like I don't have anything against the LGBTQ community. But that place was full of like gay people and trans people, and I was shocked. And then the people that owned the bar or this place, the security, the managers, they were all selling cocaine in there. it was great. I felt like I was in a horror film. And then I remember there was this gay guy. He was looking at me like a piece of meat, staring at me, licking his lips. And I got so upset, and I went up to him. I was like, mate, I don't fucking swing that way. Like,
Yeah.
it might have been the bebs, may have been a little bit of Dutch courage. And then I'm just chilling there. So obviously at the time, I've just broken up with my ex-girlfriend Carolina. So I was in a bit of an emotional place, but at the same time, since we broke up, I was just on I was crazy, man. I was swinging my sword like Conan. So I went up to all these women in this bar. Every woman I went up to, I was like, "Have you got a dick?" Yes. Next one. Have you got a dick? 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 And then eventually I found a woman that didn't have a dick. Well, I found a woman, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, she was like, yeah. I was like, do you want to come back to my friend's place after? We're doing like a little gathering thing. She was like, yeah, I'm just here with my brother, but take my number and I'll come later. Spoiler alert, she never came. And then Alexander was saying to me, he's like, hey, Vinny, guard the bathroom. I'm just going to suck this guy's dick real quick. I was like, what? So there was this Mexican guy. He just went into the bathroom with Alexander, and Alexander got it. He did what he did. And then he was just like chilling with this guy all night. And he was like, yeah, don't worry, you can bring that girl later. Let's get in the taxi, go back to mine. So we drove from one rural bit of Dallas to another rural bit of Dallas, and we chilled in Alexander's garage. And he's not flat sharing, but he's like renting a room from this old American woman. So it was just me, Alexander, and this Mexican guy. And the Mexican guy had a tag on his ankle. So he told me he couldn't speak a word of English, but he was an illegal immigrant, this guy. And what they do in America with illegal immigrants, because they don't know where to send them back to, they just put them on tag.
Okay.
And they have to go to this center. So anyway, this geezer, this Mexican guy, he thought we kidnapped him. So in the taxi, I sat at the back with him. I just see him messaging his friends and everything. And then I said to Alexander, I was like, listen, mate, I've got a feeling this guy is going to tell his friends where we are, and his friends are going to come and do something stupid. And he was like, Vinny, man, ain't nobody coming here. They ain't going to do shit. I was like, all right, mate. So we're just chilling in this garage, and this guy gets his phone out, this Mexican guy, and takes a picture of me. So I said to him, bro, what are you doing? Like, I grabbed his phone off him. I was like, delete it now. So I delete the picture. And then because we were in the garage, there was like, you know those carpentry knives? Mm-hmm. He grabbed one of them. So what did I do? I grabbed him, I swung him on the chair, I took the knife with him. And the very little Spanish I knew, I just said to him, I was like, hombre, I was like, amigo, we're fine. You're not in danger.
Yeah.
And then he calmed down a little bit. So what happened? He sat in his chair, and then Alexander got on top of him, and they started rubbing each other's genitals. And I was like, all right, cool. My night is done. Time to book my Uber. Time to get the hell out of here. And this is like 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So the old woman that owns the house comes into the garage, and she says, hey, Alexander, Alejandro's friends are at the door. No word of a lie, there was about 7 of these Mexican people at the door. So Alexander opened up the garage with the remote. Garage raised up. All 7 of them got in there, threw Alexander to the floor, started booting him, and then old Alejandro joined in on it, started booting Alexander. And then I ran up. I was like, Polizia! And then they ran, and they punched the poor old woman's car.
No.
And left. And then my Uber was like 2 minutes up the road. And I was like, oh, Alexander, man, I'm so sorry, bro. But my Uber's here. I got to get up the road. And obviously they beat the shit out of him. So he was like, oh, please, man. Please, Vinny, cancel it, bro. Please, look at the state of me. I felt really bad. So I cancelled the Uber. I just chilled with Alexander, just me and him, made sure he was all right. And then he was like, oh, Vinny, it's not comfortable here, man. Come to the bedroom. So I brought him back to his room.
Yeah.
We sat on the bed and all that. And then he had these, you know that thing that they sniff? That opens up their arse.
Oh, right. Okay.
Poppers.
Okay.
He had poppers. He was like, "Do you want some?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good, man. I'm good, bro." And then so I'm just chilling on the bed, and he starts grabbing my leg like this, and I was like, "Nah, bruv. I told you I don't swing that way." He was like, "Hey, Vinny, calm down, man. I want you to feel comfortable." And then he was like, "I'm gonna call some girls, but the girls that I like, they like a bit of byplay." And I was like, "All right, bro, but I told you I'm not on that." And then he grabbed my crotch, and I was like, "Nah, bro, nah, I'm going now. I'm going now." And then I called my Uber. He's like, "Oh, Vinny, what you doing, man? What you doing, man?" And then my Uber came. This is 7 a.m. in the morning, by the way. Come out the door, and he was like, "Oh, my girl lives up the road. We could have fucked her together, and you ruined it." I was like, "Bro, I don't care. I need to go." Mate, that was horrifying.
I can believe it.
That was a horrifying time for me.
See, I still remember waking up about 8 o'clock, and you still hadn't got back.
Nah.
And
I think I got in around 8.
Yeah,
as you guys were about to
leave.
Yeah.
Because I came downstairs, I said, "Vinny's not back," and I started getting really worried. And I messaged you. I was like, "Vinny, where are you, man?" Yeah. And that, luckily, I think you were making your way back.
Yeah.
And you were like, "No, I'm making my way back." And I remember sitting down in the lobby, and you just walked in, and you can see you were just like traumatized. Whatever happened, it was just like, "I'm just going to bed, man." I was like, "Okay, well, just go. You go up there, go and chill, and relax." And Matt was still up in the room, and he saw you go in, and he then came down. And goes, "Vinny's just gone to bed." I think you just sat down and went and chilled. Because we actually, that day, we decided to go out, and I think that was the day that we did that cemetery tour.
Okay.
While you were sleeping and resting up. Yeah, we went and visited several kind of famous cemeteries. One of which had Padre Pio, a statue of Padre Pio. Yeah.
I did not know that.
So random. And I was like, Padre Pio there? What the hell?
Hey, you know what? Going to church, I found out how much of a really well-known saint he was, Padre Pio.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. These cemeteries were huge. Oh yeah, we did that while you were resting up, and then we met up in the evening, didn't we?
Yeah. So while you went to the cemetery tour, I felt like I just crawled out of cemetery. Right?